Welcome, Exiles, to what is my attempt at getting the highest energy shield solo in Hideout. Now, previously, this is something that Empyrean did with a group of like 4 people or something, where they had a strength bot, a mana guardian bot, they had a discipline bot, where they got all the way up to 141,000, which was really impressive, and I thought that was a really cool project. And originally, this character wasn't even supposed to be that. I thought, it's pretty cool seeing these Inquisitor cast on crit energy blade builds, stacking strength and int to get a really high energy shield using the ivory tower. I thought that build archetype is cool. I myself think it can work with a few other things besides just cast on crit Inquisitor. There are probably other things that could take advantage of this sort of stacking of strength and int on your gearing. And so that's what I went to do. I went to go around and I made some gear specifically to make a totem build. Unfortunately, what Lance is pointing out is totems are terrible. I mean, well, at least I hate them. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are perfectly fine people that like totems, but I've always played totems multiple times, and every single time I come away with the same realization. The same realization of, I don't like totems at all. Moral of the story is, I played it for, I don't know, a few maps or so, and basically decided, well, I spent a bunch of currency making this gear for my totem guy, and I hate the playstyle. So I canned the totem build, and I decided, let's go ahead and put this character solely into devotion of looking at how much energy shield we can get. So I ended up canning some of my gear that was relevant for actually having a good character, and devoted it solely to getting as much stats of strength in it as I could on the character, as well as stacking ES. Sorry about that, I forgot to put on D&D. So, as I was saying is, I canned the idea of making a viable character with the strength and stacking, and started to just solely see how much energy shield we could push in the current patch. And now you'll see, with our energy blade here, we have 25,000 ES. And a part of energy blade is, it cuts your energy shield in half. So we don't just have 25k ES. If I go ahead and I take off my energy blade, well, we have, okay, I was trying to hit 50k exactly, and you'll see I have a lot of vitalities and precisions, all between level 1 and 9. And basically, I spent, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours swapping in higher level vitalities, higher level precisions, because the amount of mana I reserve changes how much energy shield I would have. And I was divining gear back and forth, and I was trying to hit 50k really hard. I hit 49,999 multiple times with different setups, and 50,001 multiple times with different setups. But I couldn't hit 50k. It was driving me insane. Moral of the story, we didn't get it. But the idea was to just get 50k on the dot. Ideally, when I started this project, I thought it'd be really cool to get all the way to 69,420, but that's, as far as I can tell, not really feasible without like legacy gear type of things. Like if I threw on, like, for example, Legacy Shaper's Touch, that item alone would take us from 50k all the way up to like 63,000 or something. With that item alone, you min-max our gear a little bit more. I think it's possible. But yeah, we're in League, we're not using legacy gear, and frankly, there's probably some more min-maxing I could do with this character, but I did what I could with the currency I had. I basically took all my currency from selling my other characters and poured it into crafting this gear after crafting the other gear that was for what was supposed to be a viable build. The idea is pretty simple. It's Ivory Tower, gives you 30 flat ES for every 100 flat life you reserve. So the idea is we're stacking Strength and Int, which are scaling % increased energy shield, and they're also giving us flat life. So between getting a bunch of flat life from our flat strength, as well as a bunch of % ES scaling, if we have a tree like this that's really potato going all the way around for some GG split personalities, grabbing a bunch of % life around the tree where we can, and % energy shield where we can then end up getting a massive life pool of 10,000. You reserve 10,000 life, and that's 3,000 flat energy shield. That 3,000 flat energy shield is then scaled by our % ES and all the stuff we got going on there. So that's what's going on with the Ivory Tower, and I guess Lance just unreserved our auras, but it's fine. He's gonna get a little squirmy on me. I'll probably cut this. Lance, can you chill, buddy? He doesn't want to chill. He wants to smash the keyboard. But moral of the story is, you stack a lot of int and strength, you can get some pretty crazy energy shield numbers. I'm sure if somebody spent some time and screwed around with my POB, they could find a way to get higher ES than I got here. I was happy to try to go for exactly 50k. I divined some things to be worse to get to it. But overall, this is kind of a fun little project to do because I'm pretty burnt out on the league. Just wanted to do something with my currency I had sitting around, craft some cool things. And so if you're curious about checking out the POB and whatnot, it'll be in the description of this video. Okay, there's a cut here because I took some time to put Lance hopefully to bed. We'll see if he actually sleeps. I mean, it's kind of a toss, like a 50-50. Sometimes he decides, yeah, I'll go to sleep, and other times he's like, nah, Dad, I want to keep playing. Please come get me. But anyways, I wanted to go more in depth, and I was a little bit too distracted to do so because Lance is flapping the keyboard and stuff. But some of the cheese I did to get to 50k is use Corrupted Soul. And Corrupted Soul has the nice benefit of making 50% of damage bypass energy shield. So what this means is our 52k is basically useless, because what's going to happen is an enemy's going to hit us for 48 damage, which will have 24 bypass our energy shield and one-shot us. Without Corrupted Soul, for example, if we were to unallocate that, we're closer to 47k. This is a good 5k ES we're getting from this node alone. So there's a little bit of cheese there. Realistically, if you start, cutting back on full-blown going into ES and strength and that stuff, I think you could realistically get a fairly well-put-together character, like, for example, the Energy Blade Cast and Crit build, like, using that sort of formula with some min-maxing gear like this. I think you could get 35k ES and still, like, actually have a character. Not necessarily have just basically nothing but ES, but here's the thing. Bigger number, better build. Now, you might say, but wait, if you actually spec'd into stuff, your character would be viable and could do content. But to that, I have to say, my monkey brain likes to see big number. So I think we know who has the better build here. But yeah, one of the things I did was Corrupted Soul. Other stuff we did is we invested into an Emperor's Mastery, which is a super rare drop, but best in slot, giving percent defenses, percent life, and percent attributes. Crazy strong jewel. We have a Watcher's Eye with the gain 10% mana as extra ES mod. We have some hybrid nodes here, which have some pretty good scaling for this in melding and in Written in Blood. Mastery with gain ES as, or gain mana as ES. We're fully spec'd into Guardian, grabbing as many small nodes as we can, as well as Radiant Faith. I didn't ever try to theorycraft doing a Scion. I think potentially maybe Scion could beat out Guardian, but here's the thing. I don't want to level a Scion. I don't have that kind of time. I had a level 96 Inquisitor, or 96 Guardian lying around, and I decided I'll chuck it in a couple 5-way rotations, get it to 98, get 50k, and call it good. So that's kind of what we did. Scaled a lot of strength, a lot of int. I'm just going to hover over these items if you're curious about pausing the video to look at them, or you of course can check the POB and go through the gear I made. Moral of the story, we hit 50k. I think feasibly, if you go to standard, start getting legacy gear, I think 69k would be possible for a solo player, which I think is pretty cool. Ultimately, there's no viability to this build. Obviously, this build couldn't do any content at all because, as I said before, it would instantly die. If you start making it more viable, you're going to be dropping 10, 15, 20,000 energy shield to start actually making a well-rounded build. All in all, that's the character. Hopefully you got a kick out of this little project I decided to dedicate myself to for a little bit here as my currency burning project of the league. I had a lot of currency and I wanted something to do with it because all in all, it's just going to end up rotting in standard. I might as well have some monuments to some weird items I made for some weird goals. Anyways, that's the video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Take care, Exiles. Peace out.